Today's question is, what has Islam given to humanity? Well, Islam has contributions across different aspects of civilization, including architecture, science, philosophy, medicine, mathematics, astronomy, women's rights, civic rights, and more. Let's focus on just a few aspects and give you a rundown on some of the achievements by Muslims in these areas. For today, we'll look at women's rights, science, and civic rights, areas that in themselves are vast. Women's rights are in fact one of the least understood aspects of Islam outside of Muslim communities. Did you know, for example, that Islam was the first religion to give women inheritance rights and acknowledge their right to possess and manage property? This happened in 7th century CE, and women in the US and Europe had to wait more than 8,000 years after this to gain inheritance rights. It wasn't until the 19th century CE that women in some of those countries were able to own and manage property themselves. Now, let's move on to Islamic civilization as a whole. The Arabic language from the 8th century CE until the 15th century CE had become a progressive and scientific language. Nearly all Muslim scientists from different countries wrote their books in Arabic. These books were so important that almost all important books of that era were, sooner or later, translated into European languages by European scientists. Islamic civilization, with its scientists and philosophers, was considered a beacon of light, especially during the Abbasid period from 750 CE until around 1258 CE, after which the Abbasid rule declined. This period is also referred to as the Golden Age of Islam. You've probably heard of Avicenna, a famous physician, astronomer, and philosopher. He was the one who transmitted the philosophies of Aristotle and Plato to the West long after they had been forgotten. There are also countless scientific advances in Islam, such as the clock pendulum, the magnetic compass, and the astrolabe. Muslim mathematicians were the first to use the letter X to refer to an unknown quantity, and it was another Muslim, Al-Khwarizmi, who died in 850 CE, who invented the science of algebra. In the field of medicine, Muslims introduced anesthesia and the cauterizing of wounds. The very first hospital in Islam was built in Damascus in 706 CE by the Umayyad Caliph Al-Walid, and under Caliph Harun al-Rashid, a special hospital named Baghdad Hospital was built 100 years later, and Baghdad became the center of medical teaching and practice. In fact, the first medical book published in Latin Europe in 1486 CE was written by the physician Abu Bakr al-Razi, one of the specialists at the Baghdad Hospital around 600 years earlier. Baghdad also became the city that housed a library called the House of Wisdom, which was created during the reign of Caliph Al-Ma'mun, and which housed all knowledge and research like a vast library. Let's leave the huge field of medicine and science and look at other contributions by Islam. Do you know the specific contribution Islam made to political and civic rights back in 622 CE? This was the year when Prophet Muhammad drafted the Constitution of Medina, the city to which the Muslims fled from persecution in Mecca. Other tribes and groups were already living in Medina, and this document cemented the rights and duties of all the different people. The Constitution of Medina is actually considered one of the most important constitutional documents in the world. This constitution established human rights such as citizenship, diversity, and coexistence. It created a city-state given wide autonomy to different communities. It also created freedom of religion, and one of the clauses said that the Jews shall maintain their own religion and the Muslims shall maintain theirs. At the same time, it gave social, legal, and economic equality to all loyal citizens, stating, for example, that the Jews who follow the believers will be helped and will be treated with equality. Is it all about the past? Well, of course not. Muslim scientists, philanthropists, sports people, you name it, are still contributing to human civilization greatly. You can check out our Namables and Muslims Inspire programs for more. That was it for today, and please remember to send us your questions.